Hey, what's going on? It's Daniel Gillespie here with UponArriving.com, and in this video I'm going to be reviewing the Citi Platinum Select card and talking about just how much value that this card has to offer. So before jumping in, if you're new to this channel, I cover things like credit card rewards, hotels, airfare, and a lot of other interesting travel topics. So if you like that type of stuff, be sure to subscribe and hit that little bell icon so that you don't miss out on anything. So I'll just jump right into this review and start with the welcome bonus. So the Citi Platinum Select card is definitely one of these credit cards where you want to time your application so that you're jumping on the best bonus. Over the past few years, we've seen bonuses for this card range from 30,000 miles all the way up to 60 or 65,000 miles. So again, you really want to time your application for this card. But in addition to the timing, sometimes you just have to go and seek out one of these sort of like hidden links. And so what I mean by that is right now, if you were to search for the Citi Platinum Select, as of September 20th, 2019, you would find a 50,000 mile offer available to the public, but you may not know that there's actually a hidden link for a 60,000 mile offer. This is something that applies to a lot of different cards, but especially the Platinum Select. I feel like it's one of those cards that it almost always has several links out there for you to choose from. So with this card specifically, you really want to make sure you're paying attention to the best link. And if you want to see an example of those links, just click on the article in the description below. So you might be wondering, how far can you get with these miles? Well, American Airlines is moving toward a dynamic award pricing system. So what that means is that the award prices are not going to be set in stone. They're going to fluctuate, similar to how cash prices fluctuate for airfare. So I don't want to get too much into the pricing on this video, but I did make an article that highlights a lot of the AA sweet spots. So again, if you follow the article below, you can find this link and it'll highlight some of the best redemptions. And I know for us, we've had some of our most memorable flights using AA miles on partners. So like the Etihad first class apartment, the Qatar first class, British Airways first class. There's really a long list of airlines that we've used AA miles for. And in fact, I think we only recently used AA miles for American Airlines this past summer after years of using them for partner airlines. And one good thing about booking these partners like Etihad or Qatar with AA miles is that you can actually redeem your miles and pay a very low amount in fees. So you might be wondering what happens if you come across a higher offer after you've already applied for a lower offer. So let's say you hit a 50K offer and a couple of weeks later you find one of those hidden 60K offers. Well, in the past, Citi was really good about honoring matching. So you could request to be matched to that higher 60K offer and they would actually give that to you. But in the past, I have seen some data points about Citi refusing to match people. So nowadays, this might be more of a your mileage may vary thing. The next thing you want to know about this card is that there's actually a new rule that applies here. So Citi changed some of their application rules recently, and one of the rules now that applies to American Airlines card is this 48-month rule. And Citi states that the AAdvantage bonus miles are not available to you if you've received them for this card within the last 48 months. So this is very different from the rules in the past, which applied to all American Airlines cards and covered a 24-month period that seemed to be activated when you opened or closed the card. Now it seems like they're focusing on when you receive the bonus miles, and it only applies to this specific card. Now I should say that this is still early, so data points still need to come in to see exactly how this rule is going to be enforced. But this is good news for some people because it means that now you can actually apply for multiple Citi American Airline cards and get more miles. You'll just have to wait a longer period of time before you could ever get that again. And by the way, if you find credit card rules a little bit time consuming and complex, I'm actually putting together a tool that will allow you to just not have to worry about those ever again. And if you want to find out more about that tool, just check the link in the description below. All right, so now let's talk about bonus earnings. So the Platinum Select card is going to earn you 2x on American Airline purchases and also 2x on restaurants and on gas. Now overall, getting 2x on dining and gas is pretty average, but the American Airlines card is a little bit unique, mostly because American Airlines is not a transfer partner of a major bank. So unlike United, where you can transfer points earned from your Sapphire cards, or Delta, where you can transfer points earned from your Amex cards, there's no way to rack up a bunch of points with a major bank and then transfer them out to American Airlines. So for a lot of people, it makes more sense to put spend on this card, even though the bonus categories are not the best out there. But something that I will say that I would recommend is to not focus so much on earning points through spend for American Airline miles, but really you should just branch out and look at your different options, because you have cards like the Platinum Select, the business version, you have the executive card now if the rules don't apply to you, and then you also can turn and look at Barclays and their different options with the aviator cards. So with American Airlines, yes, you can't transfer points directly from a Chase or an Amex, but you can also go pursue a handful of different cards, and it's not that difficult to rack up a few 100,000 AA miles in the span of a few months. All right, so now let's talk about some of the perks of the Platinum Select card. The first is this new perk, which is a flight discount. So if you spend $20,000 on your card, you can actually get a $125 flight discount. Now, this flight discount can be applied on other One World partners or code-share flights, so that is pretty cool. But for me personally, I feel like $20,000 worth of spend for only $125 worth of value is just not really worth it. I'd much rather go and spend something like $15,000 on a Hilton card and earn a free night, which could give me easily triple that value or more, and so for less spend. And so I'm not really attracted to a $125 perk for 20K worth of spend, and that's not even considering the opportunity cost that you can get with other sign-up bonuses. So the next benefit is a free checked bag, and this is a great way to get a lot of value from this card. So you can get free checked baggage for you and up to 4 companions, so 5 total people, and that's going to save you a lot of money. Now the catch here is that this only applies to domestic itineraries, okay? Now keep in mind that for some international flights you can actually get free baggage anyway, so that's not a huge bummer, but compared to the United Explorer card that applies to international flights, this is definitely an important distinction. But one thing to keep in mind is that unlike the United Explorer card, you don't actually have to use your card to pay for the airfare to get the perks like this. All you have to do is have your card and have it linked to your AAdvantage number, and you'll get the free checked baggage for you and 4 companions anytime all of y'all are on the same itinerary. So the next perk is preferred boarding. Now preferred boarding is not the same as priority boarding, okay? A lot of people get those mixed up, and when it comes to American Airlines, those are not the same things. So if you've never flown American Airlines before and you don't know how their boarding works, basically you'll line up and you'll see a sign and it'll say priority, groups 1 through 4, and then you'll see another section that says main cabin, and this is for groups 5 and above. Now with preferred boarding, you'll be able to board with group 5. So you're basically the first group to board after priority boarding. Getting to board with group 5 can be awesome because it's going to allow you to not have to stress about overhead storage bin space. If you are in group 5, you really should not have an issue with finding overhead storage bin space, especially if you're able to kind of get at the front of that group. And just like the free checked bag, this perk actually applies to you and up to 4 companions as well. So if you're traveling as a family or group, you'll be able to get the free baggage and the preferred boarding as long as everybody is on the same itinerary. The next perk is 25% savings on in-flight dining and beverages. Now the first thing to note is that this savings does not apply to other types of in-flight purchases like Wi-Fi, okay? We're only talking about dining and beverages. And again, this benefit only applies to domestic flights. And by the way, a lot of these perks apply to flights that are only marketed by American Airlines and might be operated by another airline. So without getting too deep into the terms and conditions, you can just check the article below and see a little bit more about that. But if you really want to look more into that, just look on the application page and go into the terms and conditions, and you can see all of the different airlines that apply. So the annual fee for this card is $99, and it typically is waived the first year. So this is different from the Aviator Red card, which forces you to pay that annual fee right up front, but that card also provides you with your miles after making just a single purchase. So this is usually the deciding point for a lot of people when they're thinking about going Platinum Select or Aviator Red. It's just a matter of, do you want to pay the annual fee up front, or do you want to wait a year and then see what happens? So one thing that I did want to hit on about this card is that it's taken a major hit in the benefits and protections department. So as of September 22nd, 2019, this card will no longer have many of its key protections and benefits, which include things like rental car insurance, baggage delay, trip delay, travel accident insurance, and a lot of other coverages. So this greatly devalued the card, but the good thing is, going back to some of those perks like preferred boarding and free checked baggage, is you don't have to put your flight on this card. So in other words, you don't have to use this card in order to get those benefits. So for some people, it'll still be worth holding on to. It's just, if you're ever going to book a flight, you don't want to use this card. You probably want to use a card like the Sapphire Preferred or Reserve that has built-in travel protections. So overall, I'm a big fan of the Citi Platinum Select card. I think it's a great card to earn miles to use on some great partners for some aspirational awards. And it also has some pretty solid perks that can save you money, like free checked baggage, and also just give you a better travel experience with preferred boarding. But before applying, you want to make sure that you first of all are eligible for this bonus, and then also that you find a link with one of the best offers out there. And keep in mind that there are some targeted offers that go out there that allow you to get around the 48-month rule, and in some cases not have to worry about that at all. So that's it for this review. Be sure to let me know in the comments below if you like the Citi Platinum Select card. Do you think it's overrated? Do you prefer the Aviator Red card over this card? Let me know in the comments below, and thanks for watching.